Hello, 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 and welcome back to my channel. This is Namiko Creations with Fluffy Boots. So today I want to talk about the make-along I am going to be doing with Gina from Knitting Turnpike. Sorry, for a moment I blanked out there. And Judy from Judy's Creations and Crochet. We are doing wraps. We're doing either a crochet one, a knit one, or you can do both. Now I'm going to talk about the crochet one first, and then I will talk about the knit one because there's a couple of informations I want to give there. So I'm going to look off to my screen for a second so I can tell you the name of what we're doing, and then I will put a link to the wrap in the description. So the crochet wrap that we're doing is called Riverde wrap. I hope I said that right. Not sure. But it means a song or poem or dance performed in celebration of the return of spring. Very pretty. It's a very beautiful wrap. I did start working on it last night. It was going together very nicely. I was very excited about how it was looking. I did run into a very small problem, and I was trying to use one of my very favorite yarns I've had, and I've been wanting to use it for a long time, and I couldn't figure out what I wanted to use it with. And then it was like, oh, that would be perfect for this. And started working on it, was doing really great. And then I realized, oh, I only have one skein of this. That's not good. Or Hank, excuse me, it was a Hank. Um, so I stopped working on that one. I pulled out the other yarns I was considering, played around with them, found another one that I liked, put that together, and that will be the main one. Then I'm going to be making this in either the other one that I pulled is either going to be in crochet. Well, no, it's not possible. It's going to be in crochet. So I'm going to show you the one that I chose to start with to do the make along to begin with. So we have this very, very pretty little yarn here. It's already caked up, but this is Malabrigo Wasabi. I don't know if you've ever seen it in person. It's very pretty. I have it in like 4 different cakes, if that tells you anything. That's how much I like it. It's got this beautiful blues and greens that kind of work with a gray, and it just makes this really soft color. It just was gorgeous together. So this is the first one. Let me see if I can fix my camera. There we go. All right. So the next color I am putting in there is also, oh no, this one isn't. This one is from Black Sheep Dye Works. And put that back in there. It's a beautiful teal. Now, again, my camera doesn't show the best of colors, so right now you're probably going, ooh, what are you doing? That looks gross. But it actually is a more greenish teal, so it does look more like this. It's just my camera wants to make it look like a really pretty blue. Although I do wish I did have that blue because that would be gorgeous for something else. But, you know, I digress. So we have this one I'm using with it. And then this is by one of my favorite yarn dyers out there. She's probably my #1 yarn dyer. This is called Coven. Again, this is a greenish teal, not a blue teal. This is from Crow and Crescent Yarns, and I do have an upcoming yarn unboxing that I will have probably sometime next week. Of some more of her yarn, and we'll talk more about her yarn. But she's a fabulous dyer. I have so much of her yarn, and I love it. It's beautiful yarn. It's got a nice fingering to it. Weight. It's all squished up here because I was playing with it last night. But that goes in here too. And then I am thinking, and I haven't 100% decided, these 3 for sure, absolutely for sure. but I'm kind of thinking to bring out some of the blue of adding this one in there as well. And again, it's showing it as much bluer than it really is. It is a blue. It is a blue teal, but it's not nearly as bright as this one. And this is from Malabrigo. And this is Under the Sea. 362 is the number. And this one has approximately 420 yards on it. And it is 75% merino superwash and 25% nylon. So I can try to get that back in there. Now, this one, I don't have the ticket in front of me outside of knowing it's a wasabi. So I can't tell you for sure the yardage. I will look that up and put it in the description. This one was a one-off, so she didn't have more of this coloring, and so I can tell you the name. It's a tonal, but I can't give you much more information than that because, like I said, it is a one-off. It's called Deep Sea Tonal. This one only has 87 yards on it, but there's two of them that I put with it, so it looks bigger because there's more to it. Now, the other color I am considering putting with this, again, much bluer in the picture or on the camera. I wish it was this blue. It is a deep blue. Not 100% sure if I'm going to use this one or not. Again, it's kind of a maybe, along with this one. They work well together, but I'm not sure I want them with these three. So I may just pull them and say, nope, not going to use those. I will decide as I go. I wish I had a truer picture so that you can be like, oh yeah, that would work together. Go, oh my gosh, what are you thinking? Are you absolutely insane? Not absolutely insane? A little bit. Little. Sorry, getting weird again. All right, so this is for the crochet wrap, the main one. This is the one that's going to get done first. So we're going to put this in. Nothing like knocking everything over. Okay, put that over there. Now, this is the one that I was sad that I couldn't make because I didn't have enough of the color. I'm not 100% sure if they still make this color or not. I have to look it up. I haven't looked it up yet. So this is the one that I was showing in the group last night for it. As you can see, it's gorgeous. Look at the way the light reflects on that. This is 100% yarn. Or, wow. Yeah, amazing. 100% yarn. Would you ever believe that this is yarn? I mean, it doesn't look like yarn. I know, I'm weird. I put the label somewhere over here. I'm not really sure where it is right now, so I can't tell you the name of it. I couldn't even pronounce the name. I do know it's Malabrigo. It's the worsted, and I don't recall the other details, but I will put all the information again in the description. So this was the main one, and everyone was like, ooh, that's so pretty. I love the way that works. I do too. So I'm sad I'm not going to be able to do a bigger one out of it. And I'm going to put this with it. Now this is also a Malabrigo. And this is Rios. Pearlton is the name, and it's number 069. This is a worsted, which is also what this is worsted. Worsted, sorry. Approximately 210 yards, which is how much this has as well. And this one is 100% super wash merino wool. Like I said, I will have to find the information on that one. I don't have it right in front of me. So I'm putting this with this one. I try to keep my labels with everything so I can look them up later. Now, this is another one that I am going to put with it. Yeah, you can see that pretty good. So this is actually pretty true to color right there. This is another Malabrigo. Yes, I do love Malabrigo. Um, there's something about their quality. They get such beautiful colorings on theirs. It's just to die for. This is Paris Nights. This is Arroyo, oh, Arroyo. I think that's Aurora. It's color 052 Paris Nights. It's a DK Sport 332 yards, also superwash merino. Now, you will discover with me, I love wool. And this colorways that I'm showing you right here, these are my favorite colorways. I am very much a gothic person. I like the darker shades. My favorite color of all time is green. And if you can get that really beautiful deep green that's kind of like almost like a forest meets hunter green, if you know what I mean. It's just a deep, rich green. I love that shade. It's my all-time favorite shade. These three are going to be in the shorter version. Now, I am considering, I have not 100% decided on two colors to put with it. This is yet another Malabrigo because, like I said, I do love Malabrigo. Now, this is a single lot, which means it doesn't have a color name. It is another one offer, but it's beautiful. It would actually match well with the blue and the teal that's already in the color, and it would be very complimentary to, I don't know if you can tell that much, but it is a purple, a darker purple. So I'm considering very much I should put these back here so you can see them a little better. Okay. Putting this with it. The other one I am thinking of putting is this one. Now, it's not 100% sure I'm doing it yet. It's just a consideration. When I put the link in the description, you can look at the wrap and be able to go, oh yeah, I can see what you're saying there. This is the Wasabi Malabrigo. This is that name I can't pronounce again. Aurario. This is a DK Sport. The other one that I showed you over there was fingerweight. So if you can see, I want to show you the difference there. So that is the DK Weight Sport. And this is, if I can get this over here into the frame. Okay. That is their, I had it for a whole 2 seconds. That is their fingering weight. And you can tell when looking at them that the shades do change depending on the yarn and the weight. So, nice to know. This is most definitely brighter, which is why I'm kind of thinking it will work when I run it low on this. I can put this in as kind of a nice way to make the yarn last a little longer. So that is for the crochet up. And now let's talk about the knit, shall we? All right, so I used to knit many, many years ago, and we're talking probably about 40 years now. I learned from a lady at a yarn shop. She used to frustrate me because she would get very upset quickly if you didn't instantly catch on. So she was the only person I could go to when I had knitting questions because my mom and my grandma were avid crocheters, but they were not knitters. And so I reached a point in my knitting, because I like to think big. And I am Scandinavian, and I really, really wanted to learn Scandinavian knitting and how to make cables. And I couldn't get the cables to work. I got frustrated, and so I just finally went, forget it. I don't want to try it again. I'm just going to forget about anything yarn. And I went to making just quilts straight for 20 plus years. And then I got into beadwork and wire and, a whole process here. And then when I got introduced to crochet again, and I was like, well, I remember some of the teachings from when I was little. Let me see if I could do it. I caught on to crochet really fast. And then I went, okay, you know what? I'm getting pretty good with the crochet. I still have lots to learn, obviously. We all do. Life is a journey. You should be learning every day. So I thought, okay, I think I'm going to try to knit. And I've been talking to my friend Gina from Knitting Turnpike. Wonderful woman. If you have not checked out her channel yet, you should. Same with Judy. Judy will totally appreciate the um, the fact that these are high end yarns. She loves her high end yarns. She has some beautiful yarn, by the way. So check her out as well. I'll put both links in the description. But I've been talking to Gina about wanting to learn to knit, and I've been putting it off, and I keep coming up with these reasons why, well, I'll do it here, and then I'll do it here. And then she just finally said, I think this will be a really good pattern for you to learn from. She said it's a good way to learn some of the, I keep looking off at the pattern, sorry. It's a good way for you to learn how to knit, and it's not complicated. It's a pretty fast, easy knit. I think you will like it. So I'm like, okay. And I ended up winning the pattern. So the pattern's name is Effloresce. Effloresce? I'm not sure. I'm really not. But it's a verb that means to burst, one more time, to burst forth into bloom. There, I got it. Wow. Who would have thought that would have been a tongue twister, right? Anyways, so I had a collection of yarn that I had actually bought for another thing. And one of the things that both Judy and Gina are doing is they are going to be stepping outside their comfort zone, not in their palette. I've already showed you colors that are my palette, the two that I'm doing for the crochet. And I thought, well, I've had this yarn. I bought it last year. I've had it forever. Why don't I take the plunge and try them with a knit? So this first one is going to be very much outside my color range, but I'm actually really excited for it. So without further ado, dun dun dun. So not even totally in my color palette. You know what I'm saying here? So this is some yarn that I bought. It's three different creators, so we'll just start with these two, and then we'll talk about this. So this is from Yarn Snob. If you have not checked out Yarn Snob at Knits All Done, I'll put a link in the description for you. But he does gorgeous, gorgeous yarn, and it really does smell really nice. This is 100% superwash merino, and I should be telling you the grams on these. I am so sorry. I'm not used to working in grams and meters, but I know that there's people who do. So let me start doing that. It's a 100-gram hank. It's 400 meters, 437 yards, and it is colorway of Keith's Orchid 621. Now, this is the picture of what the yarn is based off of, which I think you can agree is gorgeous. Look at the coloring on that. Is that not the prettiest thing? I love this yarn. I love his yarn so much that I keep buying. I have no idea. Usually when I buy his yarn, I'm just like, oh, I love that color. And oh, I love that color. I have no idea what I'm doing with him, but I love the color. And I actually just hanged up caked up, excuse me, one of his giant power balls that took me 4 hours to do. And my arms were very, very tired afterwards, but it was worth it. So the next one is from Wild Poppy Yarns. Now, this is handwritten, and the label is called, or the yarn is called, Lighthearted Glow. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It's a 100-gram hank. It's 437 yards. She does not have the meters, but since it's the same, I'm going to say that's 400 meters. Probably give or take somewhere in there. And it's the 4-ply fingering sock weight. Now, I think this one is just gorgeous too. And it's got this really nice, beautiful pale yellow through here that goes down into an even paler yellow over here. Then it's got these pops of pink in there. And the pinks go brighter. And I thought it was a really beautiful complement right here to those. Because as you see, they just seem to be almost identical. Then the last yarn for this one is from Square Peg Yarns. It's a sock weight. The color is Quirky. And it is a 4-ply, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. The length is 463 yards, 423 meters. It is a weight of 3.5 ounces and 100 grams. Now, I love this part. The birth date is November 2nd, 2022. Is that not the cutest thing? And the birthplace is Enumclaw, Washington. And this was dyed for a little shop that we have here that does do online. Oh my gosh, my brain stopped. Does have an online store so you can buy this. I will put the link for her store and the website in there as well. And this color, I thought, just kind of pulled all of these in perfectly. It's just a beautiful colorway. It is a combination of lavenders and pinks and oranges and little bits of yellow, and then not sure if you will be able to see very well. Kind of, it has some speckling in there just like these do. So I thought that was a really beautiful addition. Now, there was one other that I keep pulling, then I put back out, then I pull, and then I pull back out. I was considering putting all, let's see if I can do this. All right. I was considering putting that center one in here. I'm just not 100% sure if I want to or not, or if it would work. Because I almost feel like if I put this in here, then it makes this just like stand out too much and then it loses itself. Whereas I felt like if I have these three, they all seem to work well together. So I think I've just talked myself into not using them. Way to go. Okay, so this is for the knit. Will it get done by the deadline? I don't know. Maybe. I have quite a few things on my plate for this month I want to get done. So we will see. Now, the other one that I am going to do in this pattern is again from my favorite dyer. Give me a second to grab these. Now, these are all from my friend at Crow and Crescent Yarns. See? Okay, so this one and this one is called Delta Draconis. It is called a Calistro sock. 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 100 grams, and 463 yards. She does not have meters on there, so unfortunately I don't know that part. But I've had this. I've been trying to figure out something to do with it for a long time. I've had it for probably just over a year. This one is a gorgeous, gorgeous, deep, rich black that I absolutely love. This is called Void. Now, tell me that's not the perfect name for that. Void. Okay, this is the same sock weight. This is the same yardage. Everything is the same right here. So this is what I'm going to do for the other knit version, because I do want to use my blacks and my dark colors, because I do have a lot. I do have pretty much all colorways for the most part, only because of the fact that when I'm creating, especially if I'm making for other people, I know not everybody's going to like the dark colors. And so I have to think in terms of, well, if I'm making something, whether it's a hat, a scarf, a blanket, what colors are other people's going to like? Because, not everybody likes what I like. So that is for this upcoming make-along. I'm actually really super excited because I think I have some really beautiful colors to use, and I think they're going to look gorgeous together. I can't wait till they're done, because this will be my first bias crochet and bias knit wrap that I've ever done, and I've decided this year to challenge myself not only to do patterns I've never done before, but different styles of crochet that I haven't done before. And I think it's really important to keep challenging yourself, because if we don't challenge ourselves, if we don't learn, we grow stagnant. We just are doing the same thing over and over, and before you know it, you're just like, ugh, do I really have to do that again today? And I don't want that, because I love to crochet and I love yarn. I'm pretty sure once I can get back to doing knitting that I'm going to fall in love with it as well again. So I'm challenging myself to shop my yarn this year, to try new techniques, to try new styles, and I'm even going to, believe it or not, really work on making me some clothing this year. Now, I'm not doing that yet. I have other things that are on plan for this month. The month of February, there is a couple of, or I think it's just one challenge coming to an end. I was working on the TL Crafts 2024 make-along. I got frustrated with Tunisian crochet bias. I got the bias down, like, I was good, really good. But then when it came to going from the bias corner to the edge that goes straight here and the other, I couldn't wrap my brain around it. I was struggling, And the more I struggled, the more frustrated I was getting. And I was making it out of some minis. And I thought, you know what? Instead of continuing to try to make this and get myself more and more upset, let's just put it aside for a few days, a week, whatever. Um, we'll take it apart. We'll do the other one that I really like, and we'll go from there. And that's what I decided to do, and which is the reason I jumped in full force to making this um, wrap, which I'm just as excited about. And I do plan on continuing to grow my knowledge of Tunisian crochet. Um, I'm just going to take a break for a little bit. And sometime in the future, I will show you, hopefully, in the next month or two, or less, what I have done in the Tunisian crochet. So, for now, I'm going to say thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope you consider giving me a like and subscribing to my channel, because I do plan on making more content more and more. I tried to get a webcam to work with my computer. I can't figure it out right now, and my phone doesn't like to look at Bluetooth things, so I can't get my my one microphone to work. But once I get everything else figured out, I hopefully will start being able to not have to sit so close, so we can sit back and have a normal conversation, as it were. So until next time, have a great day, and I'll see you soon.